Hey, what's going on? Coming at you from Chicago, Illinois. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about other YouTubers and how they help me to appreciate gratitude. So I'm going to be talking about, these are pretty infamous YouTubers. Jeremiah Babe. There's the nomadic introvert. She doesn't reveal her name. Some of her followers refer to her as Nomi. And then Axel Webber. So, do you guys follow these YouTubers? Know of them? Like, dislike? Just really quickly, my 2 cents on these three infamous YouTubers. Jeremiah Babe, I actually followed him since 2020, and it's been quite a ride. I know that he can be, he's very in your face about his beliefs and his convictions, but there's definitely sincerity about him. He's very passionate about his convictions, and sometimes it can be a bit much, so I don't really follow him as much as I used to. And now that I'm making these videos, I don't watch as many YouTube videos. I mean, I still do, but just not as much. Nomadic introvert. This was another YouTuber that I fairly recently stumbled into, and yeah, she's pretty cool. Again, like Jeremiah, she's very down to earth, and she refers to being blessed and talking about her creator, just like Jeremiah. So I think that's really awesome that both of them do that. And then, Axel Webber, ouch! I did a video about him. The title of the video that I made was "What Happened to Old Personable Axel Webber?" And for you guys who know this young guy, he he started off his YouTube journey moving to New York, and then it was like he started off with he was trying to get into the acting school Juilliard in New York, and then he wasn't accepted, but then he ended up thriving on YouTube in New York in spite of that. And in my video that I made about Axel Webber, I just talked about what happened to him, because when he was doing his videos in New York, he was engaging. He just really opened himself up, and then he moved from New York to California, and then this was a couple of months ago, and then ever since he moved to, I think it was LA, he hasn't talked about what's going on with him and his new life and new whole environment. So that was a little bit of a letdown, but who knows? He still has his channel. It's still there. He can go back to opening himself up like he did back in New York. So I'm going to start right here with Jeremiah Babe, and I'm just gonna dictate what Jeremiah Babe said in one of his videos. And the video that I'm going to be referring to is called "A Nightmare Coming to America." This is this is what I'm talking about, like how he's very fanatical about his views. A Nightmare Coming to America, Homeless Crisis, Los Angeles, Homeless Encampment, Echo Park. So he did this video a while back ago, and at the time there was homeless people living in Echo Park, but from my understanding, they got rid of the homeless from being able to encamp there, and so I don't think there's any homeless people living there, but that's just at the time that he filmed this video, there was homeless, and he walked around the park with a friend and just filming like the tents and the homeless people. And then after he did that, he's standing next to his friend and talking into the camera, and he says, "You know, this is Jeremiah Babe speaking. You know, if there's one thing I can say is if you're watching this video on your smartphone, your computer, you're probably living in a house or a condo or what have you. You have a roof over your head. Guys, thank God for whatever you have. Maybe you don't drive the nicest, most expensive car. Maybe you don't have the biggest home or the biggest house. Maybe you don't think you have much, but let me tell you, there are people that would trade with you in a split second. You are so blessed." So, the really cool thing about Jeremiah is that he talks about in some of his videos, like, the number one asset is walking close to God. And he also talks about in some of his videos that at one point we're all going to be leaving this earth, which is true. And he talks about, he's talking to the viewer, do you know where you're going after you leave this earth? So I think that's awesome that he really incorporates his faith into his videos. Again, he can be a bit much with his convictions, but deep down he's humble, and that's just in his persona, very straightforward, in your face, and sometimes we need that. So that was that YouTuber. Now I'm gonna jump over here to Nomadic Introvert. I already did some like 2 videos about this woman living in her van, and she says in her videos that she likes living in a van, that she claims she's the happiest she's ever been. Excuse me, but at the same time, I believe in the about section of the description of her YouTube channel, it says she's 40 years old, so she's not, young, but she's not old, like really old either. So in addition to that, she's only been living the van life for less than a year, so I don't know if she's speaking too soon. Just really quickly before I quote Nomi, that's what they call her, because like I said, she doesn't reveal her name. In the video that I did about Nomadic Introvert, I talked about a woman called Lindy. I found this video called "The Truth About Van Life as a Poor Working Senior 75," and it's run by a woman called Carol. She runs that channel, Glorious Life on Wheels. And Lindy, the senior 75, living in her van, she tells Carol that there was I think it was last summer, where her van that she's living in got to almost 140 degrees inside the van. And Lindy was telling Carol that when you're living in a van, you're in the elements, whether you realize it or not. And Lindy was telling Carol, like, just how do you deal with each of those challenges? So it's definitely, it can definitely be a tough life, especially if that's your permanent residence. It's one thing if you live in an apartment, if you live in a house, and maybe just for a few weeks, maybe even a few months, living out of your van, but doing it full time, 7 days a week, it can definitely have its highs, because you're out there, you're traveling, meeting people and things of that nature, but it can definitely be very tough from what I've seen here on some of these YouTube videos. So getting back to this channel, Nomadic Introvert, and one of her videos, it's called Living in My Van, episode 78, and she's lying in bed and she's talking into the camera, and she's she's sort of reflecting her experience, and she says, "I'm really grateful for this life. It definitely hasn't been easy. It hasn't been easy, but I'm blessed." So she's definitely she's happy that she went ahead, sold her house, and moved into this van full time. Traveling. As I'm filming, I believe she's living in Florida for the time being, and then she's going to go back. I think she said she might go back up north to travel. So she's a tough girl. She can handle herself. And then this last YouTuber, Axel Webber, this is from a video he made called 24-Hour Trip to Atlanta. And in this video, he goes to he flies. It was like a one-day trip type thing. Like, he flew into Atlanta from where he lived at the time in New York, and then he went to the wedding at night in Atlanta, and then the following day he flew back into New York. And then he's saying in this video that he made, once he got back from Atlanta and he was settling down in his apartment in New York at the time, this is what Axel Webber has to say as he speaks into the camera. "Some people have been," again, this is Axel Webber talking, "some people have been asking me, how do you stay happy all the time?" And Axel says, "I don't. That is the honest to God answer. I wish I could tell you I was happy all the time, but I get unhappy. And I think the easiest way for me to get through times like that is to find something I'm grateful for." So, on that note, what am I thankful for? What am I grateful for? I am blessed. Without a doubt, I'm blessed. I'm thankful for this apartment. I know it's very cliche, redundant, but yes, I do have a roof over my head, a bed to sleep on. I have my own bathroom. Some people in New York don't even, they have to they share a bathroom. It's just, it's a studio. It's nothing obviously huge. Sometimes it would be nice to have a one bedroom so I can declutter some stuff in this apartment, but at the end of the day, I have a place to come home to. I currently work at Amazon. It's not a lot of money. I would like to look for another job, but before I do that, I want to pay off some credit, and I want to have some money put to the side so that if I find another job and for whatever reason that doesn't work, I have some sort of a cushion there. Just like Jeremiah Babe says, you are blessed, and that's the way that I feel. I couldn't imagine living in a car, sleeping, in the driver's seat, and in the harsh weather, cold, the heat. It's really tough. Even Lindy, back to the Glorious Life on Wheels channel, Lindy telling Carol, you really have to be a minimalist, and then as you're presented with challenges in the van life, it all costs money. If you want to cool off, you're running the engine, the air conditioning, it's costing money to heat the van. That costs money. I believe that's what the propane. I'm not, or maybe if you run the engine and then the heat comes out through that way. It's again, the van life. It has its highs and lows, and that's just. I'm so grateful to have a home to come to it. At the end of work, at the end of going out, whatever. I'm blessed, and you guys, if you guys have a roof over your head, if you have a job, whether you like it or you don't like it, if take some time to look at your blessings, because they're there, and this life is definitely not getting easier. There's some YouTube videos that they say that the homeless is, it's just, I mean, it's really spiraling out of control. It's really, really tough out there. So I know that it's a challenge, when we live in that self-centered Instagram, social media, every people, they want to live inside their own worlds, and it's all about themselves. And it's easy to get caught up in all that and to forget just how truly blessed we are. But that is important to be grateful, because you don't know what tomorrow could bring. So that was today's video. If you guys enjoyed this content, please follow me, please support me. The awesome thing about making these videos is that not only can you guys hopefully learn from me, but I can learn from you guys if you guys post in the comment section, and we can learn and grow, take this journey together. So that was today's video, and I hope to see you guys in the next one.